man.
Yo, what is up? Thank you for tuning in to All Soccer All Day. It's your boy Stevie Mac out here in Chicago, as with me as always from Los Angeles, Eric D. What's up?
Good evening.
Yes, good evening. We are back. We are back in action, and
Back. We're always back.
we are going to be covering the most recent tables of the Premier League going into Matchday 24. We have a little bit of UEFA Champions League just to touch on, as that's coming up in a couple weeks. We'll talk a little bit about the US men's national team and their performance against Panama. And of course, we'll mention anything MLS related if you have anything on that here in a little bit. But before we get started, I'd like to give a big shout out to our sponsor, Vaporgate, out in Colorado. Vaporgate is Vapergate. Okay, vaporgate.com. If you vape, go check them out. They have delicious juice, and you can get anything you need vape-wise, all right? So vaporgate.com. Check them out.
Whoop.
If you want to support this channel, if you want to support this podcast, then please leave us a 5-star review. That really helps us out a lot. As we always say, even if you don't think we're 5 stars, just hook us up. Because we cool. We think you're cool.
Oh no.
Damn,
Okay.
dude, you're dating yourself, fool.
Copyright problem. Sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. You just I don't think so, man. You just sampled that real quick.
Okay. Sorry, Master P.
So, you can also support us on Patreon. We really appreciate our Patreon supporters. Patreon.com/allsoccerallday. Check it out. And even $1 a month, man, it's something that really helps us keep doing this show. Hopefully you like the content. Hopefully you're coming back and checking it out. We love sharing the world of football with you, and we want to continue to do so. So, Eric D., anything you want to say before we start getting into Premier League? Any news and notes we want to go over? Transfers. I guess I'll bring up the first one. The major one in the Premier League, at least right now, is Gonzalo Higuain coming over from AC Milan. He was originally on loan from Juve. Now he's at Chelsea, trying to be that new number 9, the big striker up front. Joining Giroud, as Morata has made his way over to Atletico Madrid, and I'm pretty sure he's on a loan. Morata's on a loan right now.
Yeah.
So that's one major one for sure. De Jong going from Ajax over to Barcelona. Man, I was taking a look at Barcelona's midfield. I mean, their whole team obviously is completely ridiculous, but their midfield, man. The selection they have out of there is just absolutely out of control. And if you haven't checked that out yet, then just peep that real quick. Just peep that out. What do you got, Eric? Do you got anything news and notes wise?
No, man, just rumors. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you want me to speak on some rumors?
No, I mean, whatever, if you want to throw it out there.
Well,
Remember, we always talk about this where, if there's a transfer rumor until they're holding up the kit in front of the press, then,
I mean, well, okay, a transfer MLS related, Iko Para, transferring from Kansas City to Minnesota United.
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota United making some moves this offseason. Now they have Opara, they have Ozzy Alonso, the former Seattle Sounder midfielder. I mean, he's a vet, getting up there in years, but I mean, they're trying to solidify the spine of that team as they get set to move into that beautiful new stadium. I don't know if you've seen it, Allianz Arena or something. I think that's right. Allianz Stadium. I forgot what the name of it, because I know it's very similar to the name of where Bayern Munich plays.
Alliance, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that, but no, the big rumor been going around, and I mean it's just a rumor at the moment, is that Sebastian Giovinco has been rumored to be moving from Toronto FC, but Toronto FC came out and said that there's nothing to that.
Yeah, they were talking about some Saudi team, correct? Al Hilal, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that too. I mean, hey, look, Pity Martinez, that's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah, Pity Martinez comes into Atlanta United, and Atlanta United has the same problem the LA Galaxy have.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams have 4 designated players. You're only allowed 3, so they're going to have to do something there. With Atlanta United, the first choice is to sell Miguel Almiron, and then they keep their 3 other DPs. It's just Martinez, Pity Martinez, and Ezekiel Barco.
Mm-hmm.
The other option is possibly loaning out Ezekiel Barco and keeping the other 3 guys, or keeping McGee and Joseph and Pity.
Well, everything was going through, there was so many rumors going around with Newcastle interest in Miguel Almiron, but that just seemed to fall through due to a bunch of different reasons. And you would think that if that was going to happen, it would have happened already. So, I mean, I have to say, Miguel Almiron and Pity Martinez on the same field at the same time, like what speed is that, man?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm Atlanta United, I try to go with that first option, or I should say second option, loan out Ezekiel Barco, because he obviously didn't do well this past season. He kind of needs to regain his confidence and form and all that, and come back to Atlanta United blazing, because right now he's not looking like anything of. I think they paid $15 million for him, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that sounds right.
But the other issue is that Miggy wants to move on to Europe. So do you want to keep a player that wants to move on? So they have a little conundrum here that they have to fix, because they have to get roster compliance. And the Galaxy have the same issue. And I don't know if that means trading Roman Alessandrini or one of the Dos Santos brothers. I just have to wait and see. Zlatan's obviously here to stay, so.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all these things are going to be interesting over the course of the next month. We're going to see where that goes leading up to March 2nd, which is the first day, the kickoff of this next MLS season. Very excited for that with all the new playoff format, of course, the single elimination. That's going to be pretty exciting. I was thinking about that a little bit more, and, I'm behind it, man. It's definitely like an American-style tournament there at the end, but I think that the single elimination is really going to create some excitement. Yeah. So
you can't beat single elimination games for drama. You
right.
just can't. It's the reason why the World Cup does it after the group stage. I mean, it's like, you're not going to do any other kind of format. It's the most dramatic there is.
Absolutely. And I with the legs and all that, there's always that constant debate about, home field advantage and visiting first if you're the higher seed and all that kind of stuff. A couple other things, news and notes wise, as far as the MLS goes, Austin FC, the Broccolis, as we've been calling them.
Howdy, Austin FC.
And yes, we all know that the plural for broccoli is broccoli, but we kind of think it looks like the Broccolis. I'm just saying. Nashville is also something that we're going to have to be talking about here in the future. Up on the MLS website, they got their Nashville, little thing going up there, the little crest. I don't think it's a full crest yet, but obviously it's something that's coming together. So, okay. Anything else that we want to touch on, news notes wise, before we get in Premier League? What do you think, Eric D?
Yeah. I think that's ready to get stuck in.
All right, let's do this. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's just start off with the tables as they currently sit. The last episode that we did was actually, I believe it was right before Christmas, so it was before the holidays, and so we've missed quite a few weeks as far as putting a show up, but holidays have been pretty crazy and so forth, but we're going to get back to a nice regular scheduled program. In that time, some things have definitely changed. Some things have not changed. Let's talk about a couple of the things that have gone on in our current table positions. In first place, with 60 points currently, Liverpool, we have that one loss. Manchester City gave them their first loss of the season. But other than that, they have been absolutely on fire. 19 wins, 3 draws, 1 loss right now. I mean, it's just an absolutely amazing run they're on right now. Eric D, what do you think about how Liverpool's doing? I mean, we're going into Matchday 24. They got Leicester City next. How do you think Liverpool is faring right now, and where do you see them going up here soon?
Well, I mean, I think they're back to, full. They're kind of at their top speed right now. I think. I mean, they took the little bump in the road that was their loss, and I think. I mean, they're humming along, and things are. As long as they can keep this going, keep things just taking care of business, getting the points. I mean, they'll obviously cruise to the title, but that's the thing. It's like you have to make sure that you're focused week in and week out, because as we can see with Manchester City, they are a little hiccup. You can be nipped by some of these teams, and it can cost you points, and then before you know it, you're trailing, and now you're playing catch up, and that's where Manchester City is. It's kind of surprising that they're in that position because of the great start they had, but Liverpool had a great start as well, and Liverpool's taking advantage. But Liverpool's got to remember that there's still, a good portion of the season to go, and can't keep your foot off the pedal now.
Absolutely. Just to go over a run of their next few match days, their next few fixtures they have. Leicester City, of course, is going to be happening on Wednesday, the 30th. And that's at home. After that, they have West Ham, then Bournemouth, and then we get into Champions League, where they're going to be home against Bayern Munich. After that, then February 24th, one of the biggest matches of the year for sure, Old Trafford against Manchester United. That's going to be a very, very exciting, very intriguing matchup, and everyone's eyes are going to be on that for sure. Watford after that. Into March, you have Everton and Burnley, of course, and we can keep going from there. But I guess the main point is, as far as Premier League goes, Liverpool still has Manchester United. They still have Tottenham. They still have Chelsea. And I'm not trying to shake a stick at any of these other clubs that, West Ham, Bournemouth, Watford, Everton, Burnley. I mean, the thing with the Premier League is, of course, at any moment in time, as you were saying, even with Manchester City, you could get nipped, and if you're not paying attention, if you're for some reason just not on the right foot that day, then someone will make you pay.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think Liverpool's got to get max points out of these 3 matches against Leicester,
West Ham, and Bournemouth.
I think. I mean, anything less than 9 points, obviously, is. I think. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely not something you want to lose ground with Manchester City on. I mean, you gotta keep these potential losses to the bigger clubs, the clubs that are around your level. You've got to beat these smaller, lower table clubs. Like, you just have to. I think.
Right. And talking Leicester City, West Ham, Bournemouth, that's all mid-table. We're talking Leicester City's currently in 9th, West Ham in 10th, and Bournemouth at 12th. So, I talk about this a lot with the guys at Pickup all the time, and it continues to come back to the fact that with the Premier League, even if you're playing the bottom of the table, you got to run with at least some of your top players in. Specifically, one of my buddies, Johnny, is a Tottenham Hotspur fan, and I continue to ask him how he thinks everything's going. Obviously, he's excited about the fact that they're in 3rd place right now with everything that's going on with them, but it just goes to show continuously that if you're not paying attention, then these teams will make you pay, or at least give you a scare. So Manchester City is only 4 points behind Liverpool right now with 56 points. City has been absolutely just murking everyone in their path right now. And that's what City does. And so as long as they continue their momentum, as you were saying before, it's kind of Liverpool's, at this point in time, it's Liverpool's to lose, right? They have the lead. Yeah. They have some matches that they can definitely get some points from. And if they slip up, and it could come from anything. It could come from injury. It can come from, anything going on. Although they're talking about Ox coming back here soon, which is pretty exciting. If you're a Liverpool fan, you want that next option in the midfield. But again, you just can't slip up at this point in time. So City trailing right behind, 56 points. Right behind them, Tottenham Hotspur, 51 points. Chelsea rounding up the top four with 47, and Arsenal and Manchester United right behind them. I mean, look, we got to talk about Manchester United. I mean, what run are they on? Even with that you could say kind of a fortunate win against Tottenham. From what I remember in that game, Tottenham actually was playing very, very well. And Manchester United just had that moment of brilliance. Pogba with that ridiculous ball down the right wing, and Rashford with a perfect finish across goal. So, it's a beautiful play from them. But, you can definitely tell that Manchester United is just on their game right now. They're playing happy. They're playing free. What are your thoughts about Manchester United? Do you see this as a sustained run?
Yeah, possibly. I mean, my thoughts are, why didn't you get rid of Mourinho sooner? I mean, it's scary to think. I mean, Manchester United they're getting their groove back. And if they had done this sooner and they'd been able to circle the wagons, I mean, who knows? Maybe they're competing. I mean, as it is, they're getting back into top four contention. And, no one's looking like, they're going to make make a joke out of them. Like, maybe before it was like, oh, Man U, we're going to kick them while they're down. We can get some easy points here. But I don't think any of the top teams want to see them.
Oh, no, absolutely not. This brings in PSG and the UEFA Champions League. That's going to be a big test for both clubs. Neymar's out right now, although I believe they were talking about how he's gonna he's trying to be back, but I don't think it's gonna happen, right? Is that what you heard about that?
Honestly, I'm gonna come clean. I didn't even know that the man was injured. Did he just walk down the stairs?
I mean, pretty much. He was dribbling down. He twisted his ankle really, really badly. Oh. It's a really nasty twist, man. And so, coming to look at this here, it looks like it's going to be very difficult, according to the doctors, for the Brazilian to return from injury against Manchester United. And look, that's a huge, huge boost for Manchester United. Love him, hate him, Neymar creates goals. Neymar can, he dives, all that shit. But he's a player.
Exceptional player, exceptional talent. I don't follow Liga because PSG, I think, won the title before it started. So, I mean, aren't they still undefeated? Like, I don't even know.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm not. The only time PSG is in the Champions League, I'm going to be honest. And, I had no idea Neymar was hurt. But then again,
they just finished beating some club 9-0.
Yeah,
it's stupid. I'm totally in agreement with you. It's absolutely stupid. I mean,
my apologies.
Yeah, no, I'm with you, honestly. Like, the only reason I even knew it, I just happened to be flipping through Twitter and, saw some highlight where he's twisting his ankle, but...
Ouch, that hurt. I guess he's out.
Yeah, for sure. But anyway, getting back to Manchester United, United is on this amazing run right now. And, through the first few games that this run had been going on, it was almost like, hey, how long is this going to last? Are they really going to be as strong as they are looking for an extended period of time? And I think the answer is yes to that.
I mean, there was a time when I thought PSG was going to absolutely embarrass Man U in this
Correct.
Champions League. Like the possibility would happen. But now I really think it's going to be a much more competitive series, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty exciting. So let's go ahead. Hold on just a second. Let me bring that up here just to make sure everyone knows. So February 12th, Manchester United PSG, talking about the UEFA Champions League. So just a mention on that, February 12th. That'll be 2 p.m. here Central. So that's starting at noon Pacific and 3 p.m. Eastern. So definitely keep your eye out for that. It's going to be very, very exciting. Let's talk about some of these other teams that are in the top 6 right now. Let's move on. Let's talk a little bit about Arsenal and, kind of the up and down that they've been going through lately. Their last 5 games, it was a draw against Brighton, a loss against Liverpool, that 5-1 embarrassment. Then they get their win against Fulham 4-1. They lose to West Ham 1-0. And then they just recently get this huge victory, Matchday 23 against Chelsea 2-0. And so it's real up and down right now. I don't really know what to make of it exactly. I mean, what are your thoughts on Arsenal and how they're playing currently?
Yeah, inconsistent. I mean, it's not what you want to see as an Arsenal fan. I know some people are calling. The honeymoon's over, calling for the manager's head, and I'm just like, wait, hold on. You guys just had Arsene Wenger for like 20 plus years.
Yeah,
that's
not the silly.
Arsenal way to just, jettison this guy. You got to give it some time.
Yeah.
I still kind of think what I've always thought about Arsenal, at least Arsenal in the last few seasons. Mentality. I just don't know what it is about this squad. The mentality seems, what's going on with Ozil? What's going on with them? Like,
I don't know, man.
That's like the $1 million question right now. Like, it's a total head scratcher. Nobody knows where this dude's head's at. What's going on with his form? It's just like, is he leaving? Is he, he's when he's enjoying his football, he is such a dynamic playmaker.
Absolutely.
Like, you have to have him on the field. But I don't know. Everything that's been going on with him the last year or so, going all the way back to the World Cup and probably beyond, it's just kind of been like a lot of drama, and it's affected his play, and it affects Arsenal to a certain degree because he's one of their better players.
When he's on form, as you were saying.
When he's on form, yeah, exactly. I don't know. They're a head case to me, to a certain degree. I don't know. I feel like this is not something that this is not. He kind of inherited this problem to a certain degree.
No, I agree with you. I think that I definitely hear what you're saying as far as this kind of mentality goes. It's something about that grit. It doesn't seem like the finishing strong doesn't seem quite there. Like, I mean, look, these guys can put goals away. Lacazette's nasty. Aubameyang, are you kidding me? Like, the skill and the talent on this team, I mean, they have everything there, but
they have the talent, they have the flash, but sometimes, like you said, it takes that grit. You have to get nasty. You have to get dirty. You have to, show that champion medal.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I don't. That's part of the problem, I think, at least when it comes to trying to compete for the league. Arsenal can keep doing what they're doing, spin their wheels, and they'll stay around fighting for the top 4.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Yeah,
and
if you
right now they're 3 points behind Chelsea. They just got the win against Chelsea, which is definitely, that 6 point swing is a huge deal for them as they're trying to move up into that top four. And that definitely puts them in better contention. But as we were just talking about, Manchester United's right behind them. And tied with 44 points as well. They're only 3 goals behind on goal differential. So Manchester United's making that play. I can tell you right now, if Arsenal is as up and down as they have been over the course of the last 5 games, and Manchester United's playing how they're playing, then, it looks like United's going to end up passing them up here pretty soon. Going over to the 4th place team currently in the table is Chelsea. Again, they've been a little bit up and down too. Not too terribly bad. Their last 5 games, they have a win against Watford, a win against Crystal Palace. They draw 0-0 against Southampton, which that one was definitely kind of a head scratcher.
Yeah.
They get the win 2-1 over Newcastle, and then of course they just took that L against Arsenal 2-0. And so again, a little bit up and down stuff. They're, we've been talking about how they're trying to figure out their squad itself, trying to find that player that can play that number 9 role, some hold up play. Have Willian and Hazard running off the center striker, the number 9, and then also having that number 9 be someone that can be a big target and put away goals. And look, Higuain can score. Again, love him, hate him kind of thing. The guy does exactly what Chelsea seems to be looking for. It's just a matter of whether he produces in the Premier League.
Yeah, and that's the big question because he's never been in the Premier League, and it's different than Serie A. It just is. Morata was, a bust.
Yeah, highly touted too, and you got to feel bad for the guy to an extent.
Yeah. But you know what? For some players, their skill set sometimes suits a different type of team, a different type of league. It doesn't make him necessarily a bad player. It's just, we'll see how he does back in, I think, he came from La Liga originally. And we'll see how he is with Atleti. And, best of luck to him. But as far as Higuain and with Chelsea and what's going on with Chelsea, Chelsea's been up and down, kind of similar to Arsenal. I want to say their mentality is better.
I feel like Chelsea has a little bit more of that grit that we were talking about, a little bit more of that fight, a little bit more of that finishing, kind of mentality. Although they just lost to Arsenal, and we are talking about both these teams, that feel is definitely there.
Yeah, it's easy when you're in a star-studded club to just kind of want to put on the show, put on the glitz all the time, and you just sometimes I don't want to do the dirty work. I just want to be flashy and I want to do the tricks and all the stuff that people ooh and ah about. But it's like, winning a championship sometimes it's more than that. And that's the thing. Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, and obviously Man U, they're all kind of missing something to get that. Man City and Liverpool have it, I believe. Time will tell if Liverpool is going to get it done, but right now, as I've said before, it's Man City and Liverpool. It's a two-legged race here, two-horse race, and everybody else is kind of fighting for the top 4 spots. And we're going to see what happens here. But yeah, Man U is really coming up. They're like that horse that's coming up on the rear that everybody thought they'd passed up and thought it was dead.
Yeah. Well, as you said before, why didn't they let go of Mourinho sooner? But hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hey, there's people making a lot more money than you and I.
Oh, for sure.
And making these decisions, so obviously they knew better.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So, side note regarding Chelsea, Hudson-Odoi has put in a transfer request to go to Bayern Munich. Munich has been, pursuing him quite a bit over the course of the last month. and it seems like he really wants to get out of there. Hudson-Odoi has some serious skills, man. Seeing this guy have some touch on the ball, he's an exciting guy, exciting playmaker, and I mean, look, he wants to go to Munich. I guess I read some reports saying that he feels like that's where he'll really shine and he'll really be able to develop. No doubt, if you go to Munich, you're at one of the top teams in the Bundesliga. You're surrounded by extremely high talent. You've got a marquee team from across the world. Pulisic getting signed to Chelsea, I don't know if that had anything to do with it. I'm pretty sure he was looking to transfer before that.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. I didn't know if we had talked about that signing for Chelsea. And
yeah, that definitely happened before our last or after our last episode. So yeah, Christian Pulisic going to Chelsea next summer.
It's a big move for him, going from the Bundesliga to the Premier League. Yeah, this summer coming up, where he fits in the Chelsea squad, the effects it has on him and the national team and everything. Everybody's kind of holding their breath. We're going to have to wait and see. I have to imagine he's going to be out in the wing, but
I can see a lot of Carabao Cup and FA Cup excitement for him.
Hopefully he's breaking into the first team squad and that he can see some serious minutes because, like I've always said with all these Americans, gets the Premier League and you're with the top clubs and that's my dream right now. I'm waiting to see an American player playing at one of the top clubs in England, playing in the Champions League with a team from England, or just being in the Premier League week in and week out and possibly lifting the Premier League trophy. I mean, we have never seen that.
Nope.
And,
he's like our next great hope.
Yeah, he really is. I mean, it's just, you realize that, we've come pretty far in the last 20 some odd years as a country when it comes to soccer, but we still have a long way to go.
Oh, yeah,
and
of course.
These things make it evident. So, but with that said, it's still an American. He's going to be at Chelsea. Hopefully he plays Chelsea and just get loaned out somewhere, but only time will tell.
Absolutely. And moving into the third place spot, Tottenham Hotspur, 51 points right now. Tottenham's currently dealing with just a boatload of injuries. If you're a Tottenham fan, you just gotta be wondering how much more they can take as far as just losing person after person after person. Dele Alli now injured. Harry Kane injured. It's just their top players. Son was out for a while, and it's hard to deal with. But the fact that they're maintaining their position in third place right now has to be encouraging if you're a Tottenham fan. What are your thoughts about them? Talk about up and down over the course of their last 5 games. They get a win against Bournemouth 5-0, just blow them out of the water. They lose to Wolves 3-1. They get a win, again, blowing Cardiff City out of the water 3-0. They lose to Manchester United on that last, this perfect pass from Pogba and a nice finish from Rashford. And then they get the win over Fulham 2-1. So up and down, up and down, up and down. Injuries playing a big deal, big part. They got Watford coming up next. Where do you see Tottenham going? Do you think they're going to maintain that third position, or do you think that Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United are going to take them down?
Yeah, I do. It's hard to see them holding on to it with the injury crisis that they're having. Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, they all kind of look a little bit the same to me, but I can't see Tottenham holding on to that with what they got going on. Especially with the surging Man U, and Arsenal and Chelsea can get together. They should pass them up easily. I'd be amazed if Tottenham could keep it going here.
Yeah, it would show some real depth if they were able to do so. But I am, I'm in agreement with you. I think it's going to be extremely difficult for them to maintain the third position. Although they do have, obviously, Yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of their spot to lose right now. They're 4 points ahead of Chelsea, right behind them. With all these injuries being said and so forth, we'll see what happens. I'm going to take a look at their fixtures moving up here, and let's see who they have, anything relevant in the next few weeks. They got Watford, Newcastle, Leicester, Burnley, and then, of course, this is a big one. All right, Wednesday, February 27th, they have Chelsea, followed by Arsenal. So, look, they're looking for max points over the course of the next 3 games. They're all at home, all at Wembley. So they have Watford, Newcastle, and Leicester all at home. And then they travel to Burnley. Look, if they can get... Look, if they get 8 points out of that, right? If they can do something like that, then I could see them going into Chelsea. That is an away game, Stamford Bridge, and then they're hosting Arsenal after that. Those 2 games, I think, are just going to really make or break their season, pending, of course, the next 4 games. If they can get some good points out of these next 4 games, then these Chelsea and Arsenal games are going to be a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, it's the crunch is coming up here with the Champions League. I mean, clubs are going to have to prioritize one competition over the other, especially like teams like Tottenham that don't have the squad depth at the moment because of their crisis. So,
I mean, what do you think they're going to, just opinion-wise, just total speculation. Look, they have Dortmund coming up. I
feel like if you're not competing for the Premier League, which I don't feel like they are because they're just kind of too far off the pace at the moment, then I feel like you have to throw everything in the Champions League bucket or pot until you get knocked out of the competition. Then you focus obviously back on the Premier League. Yeah, I think that's the strategy you have to take. But,
yeah, I think that's a pretty solid strategy. Again, they are 5 points behind Manchester City in front of them, and 9 points behind Liverpool up at the top. So, I mean, as you've been already saying, it does really seem like this is going to be a 2-horse race all the way down between Liverpool and Manchester City as far as the Premier League title goes. So keeping your position 3rd, 4th place between Tottenham, Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester United, I mean, that's the second big race in the Premier League currently. So, yeah, and by the way, Tottenham still has Chelsea, Arsenal, Liverpool, and City to play. So, a tough road ahead for them.
Yeah, for sure.
So, moving on just to some of the fixtures coming up, if you're listening to this today, and when I say today, I mean Tuesday, the 29th, a full slate of games is coming up Tuesday and Wednesday. This is Matchday 24. Let's go ahead and look at a couple of these games and give some predictions here, Eric D. So, who you got between Arsenal and Cardiff City? Arsenal's hosting Cardiff. What do you got? Scoreline.
3-0 Arsenal.
Ooh, saying Arsenal's coming out swinging. All right.
They should. It's Cardiff.
They should. Yeah, they should. I'm going to just go 2-0. I'm going to keep it a little bit more conservative. But, yeah, definitely, I think that Arsenal is going to come away with that win.
All right, Mr. Modest.
Yeah. Okay, your boys at Craven Cottage, Fulham, taking on Brighton. I'm going to call this 1-1 draw.
I'll go 2-1 to Brighton.
Ooh.
Ugh.
Okay. Huddersfield hosting Everton. I'll take Everton 2-0.
I'll take Everton 2-1.
2-1. Okay. Wolves hosting West Ham. You're up.
Wolves. Taking Wolves 2-1.
2-1. Ah, man, that's my scoreline. Let's do. I'll take it to 3-1. Just to be different. Manchester United hosting Burnley.
I mean, we got to think that we're just going to keep seeing the same Manchester United. I'll go 3-1.
I'm going to go 3-0. I don't think Burnley scores.
Oh.
Yeah, I think Manchester United is just that good right now.
I almost went with 3-0.
Yeah. Newcastle hosting Man City. Ugh. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Like, how high a number you want to throw out?
I'm gonna go minimum 3-0.
Minimum 3-0. I like that. It's like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna go 4-1, and Newcastle gets a lucky goal.
Okay, who scores the goal for Newcastle?
For Newcastle, I'm gonna go with Rondon. Rondon gets on the score sheet.
Bro, what about DeAndre Yedlin?
Yeah, what about him, fool? Have you seen or heard anything about him lately? I don't know. I know I'm throwing so much shade at DeAndre, and you know what? I don't know the dude on a personal level, and I'm sure he's a wonderful guy. But as far as play goes right now, I just every time I see him play, he's just not. It's just not happening, man.
I really feel on the shadow-meter for you, it's San Jose and then DeAndre Yedlin.
I think that's probably pretty accurate. Although I will say Nick Lima, coming from San Jose at right back, had an amazing game against Panama. Beautiful tackle, beautiful setup for Walker Zimmerman in that game. But we'll talk about that here in a little bit, okay?
All right.
Getting back to the games here, Wednesday the 30th, we have the other 4 matches that are taking place. Bournemouth hosting Chelsea. And this is actually a pretty intriguing game for me. I think that Chelsea better really watch out on this one. Bournemouth they just seem like one of those kind of sneaky good teams. Dominic Solanke and Nathaniel Klein just went out on loan to them. Not that they're necessarily going to make the biggest impact right away or anything. Just that's kind of a side note. But, I mean, what do you think? Chelsea, Bournemouth. Chelsea's on the road.
I'll take 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw. Dang.
I like them apples.
Yeah, man. You know what? I gotta think that Chelsea's gonna come away with the win. I'm gonna say 2-1 Chelsea.
Chelsea. Okay.
Let's see. Southampton hosting Crystal Palace. Match of the week.
Match of the week.
Dude, I'm joking, man.
Okay.
Jesus, come on, man.
I just read that. Match of the week.
No.
Wait, what?
Nah, dude. Southampton hosting Crystal Palace. I say Palace comes away with the win. Palace is, they're no joke. Palace is a good squad. Zaha, Townsend. Townsend's been scoring mad goals lately, and some really flashy ones at that. I'm gonna go with Palace 2-0.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go Bournemouth. Bournemouth? Is it Bournemouth?
No, Southampton.
No, Southampton. Sorry, Southampton. I was like, I forgot. It's the other team in red and black. Southampton 2-1. How you like that?
Ooh, okay. Southampton coming through at home. All right. Let's see. We got Spurs hosting Watford. I'm sorry, say it again.
That's like Liverpool's B squad. That's Liverpool's development academy.
Damn. Dang, throwing them under the bus like that. You ain't making any friends, dude.
No, I know. Liverpool's been raiding them for a few seasons now.
That's true.
Anyway.
That's true. I was saying Spurs hosting Watford. I'm gonna take Spurs. You know what? No, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a draw. I'm gonna say it's a 1-1 draw, dude.
Oh gosh. I'm gonna.
You gonna take Watford?
Yeah. Watford 1-0.
Oh damn! 1-0. Okay. And then we'll round it out with Liverpool hosting Leicester, and I think it's gonna be a really bad day for Leicester, man. Quite frankly, look, right now Salah Salah is leading the league in goals, 16 goals right now. Look, people have been talking mad shit about him too lately with the diving and all that. Look, he had a dive, okay? Yeah. Everyone in the world at some point in time dives. Okay, that's just how it goes, unfortunately.
Player.
Yeah, man. But look, for the most part, Mohamed Salah is a player that absolutely looks to stay on his feet. He was looking for that penalty. He didn't get it. Whatever it is, what it is. He still put away 2 goals that game against Crystal Palace, and the dude's absolutely on fire right now. Mane just scored as well. I mean, look, Liverpool is on fire, and they're at home. So I think Liverpool is going to come away with a victory. I'm going to call it 3-1. Let's see if Leicester can put away that goal. Maybe a little Madison or Jamie Vardy magic. What do you think?
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. The game's at Anfield, correct?
Correct.
Ooh. Yeah, I'll go with. I'll go 3-0.
3-0. All right, Liverpool coming away with that victory. I'm assuming you were choosing Liverpool, right?
Oh yeah. The pool, all the way.
Yeah, I'm playing with you. Okay, cool. So again, just kind of coming around to this, in case you missed any of this. Look, top 6 right now: Liverpool first place, Manchester City, Tottenham Hotspur 4th place, Chelsea 5th place, Arsenal 6th place, Manchester United. And you know what? Look, top 6 is top 6. Pretty much after that, it drops off by a lot. You're talking about Watford being 11 points behind Manchester United.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's all about that top 6. It's all about the race for the top 4. And, of course, the race for the title between Liverpool and Manchester City. I'm excited. It's going to be good stuff. Good stuff. You have anything else you want to go over in the Premier League before we move on?
No. Not that I can think of.
All right, right on. Okay, briefly, we will... I'm sorry, say that again?
I apologize if I seem distracted. There's some cats out here getting pretty upset.
All right. Well,
sorry.
Just going over the UEFA Champions League and some of the fixtures they have coming up. February 12th, the first leg of Roma Porto and Manchester United PSG, as we had mentioned. On the 13th, the following day, you have Tottenham versus Dortmund and Ajax Real Madrid. Excuse me. 19th and 20th will be the next round, next set of games. Lyon and Barcelona. Feel really bad for Lyon, although Lyon, they have some good players and whatnot, but Barcelona is I don't know, man. There's like almost no words. It's just so crazy, man. On the 19th, also, you have Liverpool and Bayern. That's going to be one of the main games of this round for sure. That's going to be very exciting to see those two go head-to-head, man. Atletico Madrid and Juve. That's also another pretty exciting matchup there. I'm excited to see how Cristiano Ronaldo and Juve are playing up against Atletico Madrid. Let's see. And then, of course, we have Schalke and Manchester City. Sorry, Schalke. Goodbye. Game over. Your run has come to an end.
They just have to just leg one, just like...
Nah, it doesn't matter, man. This leg one's going to be over, and then everyone's going to be like, why are we playing leg 2 real quick? Like, what's going down?
Is that like that one, is that the Carabao Cup? Where Manchester City destroyed that small League 1, League 2 team?
Was that 6 goals or 9 goals? I don't remember. But it was
9.
It was 9? Yeah. Well, why?
Yeah.
Why?
Why risk the injury, right?
Yeah, it's silly. Yeah. But anyway, so UEFA Champions League coming up. That's going to be some exciting stuff. We'll definitely cover that as the weeks roll around. But just keep those things in mind. So February 12th through February 20th are going to be those games. Good stuff. Good stuff. Let's go ahead and let's just bounce right on over to the MLS briefly. And we're just going to... MLS. Oh, man, there it is. Haven't heard that for a little while, man.
Well, yeah. He's on a holiday.
MLS right now is currently in preseason. We have teams just kind of seeing what they're made of right now, playing some of the younger players, doing what they do. And, again, March 2nd is going to be the first match day of the MLS, this next MLS season. I'm super pumped.
See any of those kit drops, bro?
What's that? Say it again. See
any of those kits? The kit drops? New jerseys?
Dude, I have to be honest with you. No, I haven't. That's pretty crazy. I haven't seen any of that stuff on Twitter or anything like that.
Oh, Vancouver's got a new one. I mean, everybody's gonna have a new something or other because
right.
But yeah, Chicago's got a new away.
Okay. I'll have to peep those, man. I'll definitely check that out. But of course, just kind of running down, I would just want to take a look here at our first slate of games for the MLS, just to get a little bit hype here.
Man, you really are.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're quite a long way away, but I just want to mention some of these teams that are going to be playing some of these bigger squads. Let's see here. I'm talking about February, March 2nd. There we go. All right. Some of the bigger teams. Let's see. Anything super good here. Columbus taking on New York Red Bulls. It's going to be a good game. Let's see.
That's gonna be, Caleb Porter's first match in charge of the Crew.
You got LA Galaxy hosting Chicago Fire. Seattle. Oh yeah, this was it. Seattle Sounders hosting FC Cincinnati. So it's going to be FC Cincinnati's first game in the MLS. Welcome to the league, man. Welcome to the league. So
Seattle Sounders.
I'm really sad that you just sung that song.
Get ready for it. It's gonna happen.
I know,
Cincinnati.
Man. I know.
I know. I apologize, but
Hey, it is what it is, man. Yep.
You're gonna hear it. It's gonna be ringing because they're gonna bring it. So hopefully FC Cincinnati's ready for that.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, so moving forward, kind of wrapping it up, at least as far as I can tell, United States just had a friendly here against Panama. 3-0 victory. You can only take so much away from these games. It's all MLS players, and mainly to the fact that it is not a true FIFA international break. No one's, they're not bringing their top players. There's no Pulisic. There's no Weah. There's no DeAndre Yedlin. He's been back at right back. He wasn't there. Matt Miazga, Brooks. I mean, this. He said, Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie. Essentially, the entire basic starting team wasn't there. We are looking at the younger players. The same thing was happened with Panama, though. Panama was playing a lot of their domestic players, and just that 3-0 victory was. It just looked like United States was handling them all the way through.
I think someone had said on Twitter it was like USA's C or D squad or something.
It legitimately is, man. I'd go as far as to say it was the C squad. I'll go C squad.
Yeah, you can't take much stock. You can't put much stock in the game. Granted, it's good for these guys to play together. Good to get goals. Good to get a win. I'm optimistic on what Greg Berhalter is doing with the U.S. national team. I know a lot of people are like, they want to, poke their eyes out or something. But let's give it time. Let's see where it goes. It was a glorified scrimmage to a certain degree.
No, absolutely.
And a lot of the talk that's coming out of this is that, the United States Soccer Federation gouging people with the ticket prices. I don't know if you noticed that the crowd there. I believe this was played in Glendale, Arizona,
It was.
where the Cardinals play. And I mean, I don't even know if there was 10,000 people there.
Yeah.
I can imagine how cavernous that sounded or how it was. But they could have played this game in a smaller venue. But
I mean, it's better than Croatia versus England with like no one there. Just saying.
yeah, no, it's true. It's true. It's just
No, I hear what you're saying
there,
though.
there are some things about this that's just like, you know, the United States Soccer Federation just seems a little out of touch. Like it's like, look, you're kind of starting from scratch essentially. You need to lower these prices. People are not want to pay these, ridiculous prices, exorbitant prices for the players that were on offer.
It's all about that dollar, baby.
Well, I get it. It's a business. I just felt like I need to put it out there because it's like I don't understand that. But as far as the soccer goes, um, yeah, I mean, obviously it's incomplete right now. It's the first match, Panama. A lot of domestic players on both sides.
Yep.
What's the next match coming up here for the
They
US?
got Costa Rica on February 2nd.
Yeah, so
It's gonna be interesting what the call up is there.
yeah, it'll be probably a little bit more of the same. Costa Rica's domestic players are definitely stronger than Panama's. No offense to any
Panamanians for sure.
South but hey, goals are good. They breed confidence. You need that cohesion in the squad. You need these guys playing together. And Berhalter's trying to install a system. So I mean, right now everything looks good.
Well, speaking of installing the system, I have to say, look, there was not the highest competition as we've been talking about, but despite that, look, there was a sense of these guys trying to buy into what Berhalter was selling, right? Like whether or not they were doing it, I don't know the ins and outs of the game plan, but you could tell that there was objectives that they were trying to complete. There was plays that these guys were trying to, absolutely trying to make that it felt like there was organization. It felt like there was order to what they were doing. It felt like they had a plan.
Yeah, and that's good to see. And
Exactly.
That's what you want. I mean, there's a case to be made that if the United States had qualified for the World Cup and had this whole fiasco, maybe some of these guys don't even get this chance. So there's definitely pluses to be taken out for a lot of these guys. They're getting a golden opportunity. The program's resetting. We've just gotta hope and be optimistic. We're building towards 2022 right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to take some time, but you got to be hopeful.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, look, I'm excited about it. There's a lot of young players that have a lot of talent that are coming up right now in the U.S. And I really honestly believe that if these guys are getting minutes in the European leagues, talking about the top guys, a lot of guys in the Bundesliga right now getting lots of minutes. And as long as they continue to develop over the course of the next few years, I definitely am encouraged. And I'm excited about our prospect going into the next World Cup. It's a long way away, and there's a lot, left in between. But it's an exciting time. And I truly believe that, even though it might not be exactly what you want, as you were saying, as far as not making the World Cup and all this stuff. But anytime you have a failure, it opens up opportunity.
Yeah, they're going to have a test this year, whether how big of a test you consider it. I mean, the Gold Cup is this season or this summer, so
right.
There'll be a competition, and it's going to be a competition. Everyone's going to want the U.S. to win. So
absolutely, I can expect that this summer over the Gold Cup, you're going to be seeing, really what Berhalter is trying to make happen. They're going to be facing top clubs top countries, and they're going to definitely have to have it together, because if they don't, they'll get smashed on. So I don't think that's going to happen
Well,
though. I'm encouraged, man. I'm encouraged from watching that game, even though it was, as you said, third squad. Hey, look, if that's our third squad and that's what we're building on, and we got that talent in front of them, then that's exciting.
you're good on it. Yeah.
Very good, man. All right, well, you got anything else you want to throw in here before we wrap this up?
Nothing I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, I mean, everybody's, like you said, MLS, they're in preseason, and it's just that time of year. Kits are dropping, trying to finalize those rosters. A lot of more things are going to shake out here in this next month, and, well, really next month, I guess, because MLS starting is right around the corner there. So it's going to be exciting stuff.
So, we have these midweek matches today, which is Tuesday, and Wednesday the 30th. And then, of course, this weekend we also have another slate of games. So these midweek matches are going to lead into Matchday 25. So, what we might have to do is talk about when we're going to drop this next episode. If we want to wait.
Offering.
Yeah, we got 2 match days in a week. So we'll talk about that. We'll see what's going down. But either way.
What? Soccer.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's how it is. And you have to accept it from the soccer gods that there's just a lot of great games.
Man, can you imagine how it was way back in the day? Like, you just maybe heard a match on the radio, had to find out what's going on in the newspaper. Like, man.
Now you can't get enough, man. Almost every single day there's a game.
Yeah, exactly. And now it's like you have all these different outlets. I mean, people are watching on all these different channels on TV. You have the internet.
I think I might be trying to get on that Fubo TV.
Are you?
Yeah, I might hit that up, man, just because, I mean, look, when I really think about it, the only thing that I actually watch, I think, is soccer. I mean, really, every now and then I might catch a Netflix show or something like that. Hey, look, when Game of Thrones comes out, I'll be all over that. But for the most part, man, the only thing I use the TV for is to watch the game. So, I don't know. Anyway.
I need more time, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to find. It's hard to find. But anyway, all right, man. Well, let's go ahead and let's wrap this up. Again, thank you for listening to All Soccer All Day. You know what? I think we should do some giveaways here soon. See if we can get some of you listeners out there to get a little bit more involved. And go ahead, say that again.
Oh, I said giveaways. I'm going to do a little sound. Giveaway.
All right, that sounds good, man.
Yeah, we know you're out there listening to us nationwide, around the world.
Yeah, we see where you're at. We see where you're listening from. Hit us up. Send us a message. Say what's going down, man. We'd love to hear from you guys. Or ladies, whoever's listening out there.
Or robots. I mean,
So, with that being said, everybody, enjoy the games and don't hate.
Don't hate.